Deadpool and Wolverine is a new movie by Shawn Levy. I'll start by saying no spoilers. I don't believe in those. We're not going to go there. There hasn't been any superhero movies this year, so it's been hard to kind of point that out. But yeah, I love these. I follow these. That being said, a movie like Wolverine and Deadpool, I have been waiting for my whole life. And here it is. I want to say to the hero fans, if you're not impressed, this was a very cool movie. I have some problems with it, of course, but it's all smiles over here. So it's been 6 years since Deadpool 2, which I liked. I enjoyed the first Deadpool, like an origin movie, but Deadpool 2 felt like the adventures of Deadpool. It felt like a fan giving me a handful of comics and learning all about Deadpool. But I've heard from different people how outdated Deadpool will sound like as years have gone on. It might be a real thing. Superhero movies have turned into something completely different from 2016 to now. Even 2008 from now, at that moment, it seemed like everybody was hungry for more. Now, I understand too, people are tired of them. Also, we've had no shortage of Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he was on the movie If a couple months back. I didn't see it. I'm actually a fan of his, more so the older movies, but yeah, like ones like Van Wilder, Waiting, or his little bit on Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. They're really funny. He would do this signature monologue with all of his characters where it's almost as if he's recounting like a traumatic instance, and he gets so into it, and I think it's really funny. And I like him as Deadpool because he kind of taps in to some of the older stuff that he would play. When playing Deadpool, he's really in his bag, and it shows off all the more on this movie. And Hugh Jackman, like, he's one of the most talented people in entertainment, period. So his portrayal of Wolverine is something that I've been following from the very beginning, and he has been playing this character for 25 years. Once more, like, it is great on this movie. I will say, for people that haven't been keeping up with modern MCU movies and all of the 20th Century Fox Marvel that happened through the years, they may not be walking away from this all that positive. If anything, they might get real annoyed. Basically, the story revolves around Deadpool's world and his timeline getting blown up by time variance, something from Loki. Deadpool has to find a version of Wolverine, and he stumbles upon one that's like very self-deprecating, and basically the two of them have to team up and save each other's worlds. As a story, this movie feels pretty disjointed, and it's convoluted and hard to understand. It settles into a sweet spot where we really just have to care about the characters, their antics, and the cameos that come along on this movie. But never was I so engaged by the drama that's going on. And this will always be a problem the MCU will have, because while Deadpool and Wolverine is full of pretty cool action, about 60% of it is all talking. Like any action movie, it's really just talking. So if us as an audience goes to a movie like this just to watch some action or something, that never really quite made sense to me, because you're going to have to sit through a lot more drama for that. Luckily for Deadpool, it is littered with so many pop culture jokes. And Deadpool also plays this part of a excited fan himself, and it works. While I understand that Deadpool is going to come off real annoying to a lot of other people, I think there's a lot of joy to get from a character like that, because he comes from a good intention a lot of the time. As with the action, which of course it's pretty excessive for Marvel standards, and there is a lot of CG blood, which it sucks to watch, but a lot of it is choreographed pretty good. There's even one instance that, I don't know intentionally, but it reminded me a lot of Old Boy. I saw this in 3D, which looked great. There were a lot of environments that came close to you, and weapons did not feel like a post-converted tacked on 3D. Felt very natural, and it didn't bother my eyes at all watching the movie. I will say though, despite all of the joy I have, this did feel like a long movie. It's 128 minutes, but it feels at least 10 to 15 minutes longer, and it's really just because we're following the story make itself up as it goes along. By all means, it's bloated. It does not feel like a singular vision. It was written by like 5 different people. It's a little bit of a mess, but man, if you are a fan of any comics, this is such a jovial moment, and I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Overall, I would give this a 7.3. Deadpool and Wolverine is released by Marvel Studios, and it is playing in theaters everywhere now. Thank you for watching.